name is Reagan, and welcome to the Teens and the D show. Today, I am here with my co-hosts, Amaya, Khalil, Regina, and Brianna. We have so many great things lined up for you today. Let's get started. So I know school started about a month or two ago, and I was wondering what type of school are you doing, and how is it different from last year?
Um, I'm doing all virtual like learning setup. So, I'm not going to school at all unless they have something for me to go and pick up. Um, it's different from last year because, everybody was virtual at the end of last year. So it was like a new thing. So it was a lot more open and less structured than how it is at my school this year. Because now we have live classes, which makes it easier. But one of the key things that, I'm still working on is like time management because that's a big thing right now. So that's probably one of the biggest differences for me.
So, what do you guys like? Do you guys like online school, or I don't know? How do you
No.
feel about it? No.
It's kind of in the middle. Do I think that is better than face-to-face school? Probably just a little bit. But just like Khalil said with the time management and all, I also kind of struggle with that. So that's what I think.
Yeah, it feels like it's optional. It's not, but it feels like it. But yeah.
I I like making friends, so I don't I don't know what a lot of people in my class even look like in my classes unless I have to go to the class. I'm doing hybrid classes, so at least I have a chance to go and see some people at some point in time. But like the classes that are just virtual, like we're not even doing like Zooms. To be honest, like the teachers are just posting like lectures and we take notes off of there and do tests and everything. So I don't know what nobody looks like.
So how do you guys think that it has affected you guys mentally, physically, and or emotionally?
I feel like it can be daunting, especially, because your parents are still expecting you to put up similar grades to what you were doing when it was in person. And trying to make sure that you're on top of your stuff can be difficult because, at least, well, I believe all of us are, at home some of the time at least. So, like, the fact that, at least for me, there's so many distractions that I have, and the fact that I'm in the same spot for like 10 hours a day is like really interesting because when I try to take a break, it's at the same spot of my workplace, so it just feels weird. But that could just be me. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It might just be me, but I feel like I kind of like going to school better, just a little bit, just because your teachers they give you a time, you have to do this, you only get an hour to do this, and I don't know. It kind of helps me, but I like being free at the same time. I can do what I want to do whenever.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
totally get that. So, Brianna, I know you said that you do hybrid. So, what safety precautions has your school taken to keep you and others safe?
So we basically just have to make sure that wearing our masks, and then they have like the desk, the tables that we sit at. Everything is 6 feet apart, so we're not sitting, right next to each other. I know for my lab classes where we have to do like the science experiments and stuff, at our big tables that we sit at, we just sit across from each other, and nobody, and everybody's 6 feet apart. Everybody's spaced out. So that's pretty much it. They do make us, wipe down everything once we leave and come in and stuff to make sure the stuff is sanitized and kept clean. But it's pretty sick. It's not really all that, um, as you would think it would be. It's pretty basic.
Mm-hmm. So, Khalil, I heard that you have an interest in sports and many predictions about upcoming games. Would you like to elaborate?
So yeah, I mean, the most of the football games that were on today, they've passed, and they're all pretty good, honestly, especially those Lions. You know, I wanted Matt Patricia, I wanted him to get fired, but you know, he's winning right now, so I can't get upset. But there's gonna be some exciting games for the Lions coming up. And then I was also wondering because I remember Reagan, you said that you played sports during COVID, and I know
Hmm.
for me, um, I was gonna play baseball during the spring, but right after tryouts were over, that was the same day that we got sent home because of COVID. So I didn't get a season. But you said that you played, so I was wondering, like, what was going on there?
So, what I did, it was mostly like a camp. So it was mostly like practicing, not really like preparing for a season. And, it was kind of difficult at first because volleyball is a close contact sport. So, when you get together, like, I'm not sure if you guys have seen volleyball being played, but there's 6 people on the court and on each side. So there's 12 people in total. So that's not really social distancing. So, it was kind of hard to, while we were practicing, we would do drills and all that. And most of the time we would kind of break the 6 feet code or whatever. Precautions that we had were like, we would wear our mask at all times. We would have to wipe down the balls, just to keep from germs spreading. And, obviously at least try and maintain the 6 feet rule.
Would you say that, play like with all these precautions and all these added stuff that you had to do on top of, volleyball is not like an easy sport. So would you say that it was worth it to play during COVID, or would you say you just would have rather just like be practicing on your own?
I kind of do think that it was worth it because I really, really do love volleyball.
Hmm.
So, like, if it was a sport that I really, kind of was a little hesitant on, like track or whatever, I probably would not have enjoyed it as much. But since I really do love volleyball, yeah, I really
Hmm.
like that.
I definitely want to say for like sports, when it comes down to sports, I'm like the biggest sports fan. Like I'm
Hmm.
definitely the NFL, NBA, all the stats. So when he's talking about the games today, just throw it out. Steelers are 6-0 today. I'm not a
Yeah.
Steelers fan, but they are doing really good compared to what they were at last year around that time. Lions are getting better, getting back on track. So I didn't do sports. Like, I'm not a big sports. I did volleyball in middle school. That was it. I gave up and I was like, I'm just looking at the analytics at this point. So I do keep up with sports. So it was actually a cool Sunday night. So I'm just waiting on the Cardinals right now. So pretty much
So yeah,
that's everything.
with the Lions game, what was like some stuff, because you said you look at it, like look at the analytics and stuff. So what was some stuff that you saw? Because you might have saw some stuff that I wasn't able to see.
The Lions come in every game with like this weird mindset. I'm not a big
Mhm.
Lions fan, okay? I love Detroit, but one thing I throw out is what's going on in Michigan, because I'm a
Mhm.
big Ohio State fan. So y'all know me, anything with Michigan, I'm going to cut off. So at the end of the day, the Lions today, they kind of made a lot of mistakes on defense. The mistakes was on pretty much because that's always their mistakes. I don't understand why defense is kind of leaning towards a bad graft right now, because the simple fact that they are literally getting better every year. So
Yeah.
it was like they did make a couple of mistakes, letting people get, enough yards and rushing yards and passing yards. It was just too much. So they did do what they could do, but I can say their defense needs a lot of help. And yes, Matt Patricia needs to get fired because he's not doing
Thank
good at
you.
all. So I
Finally.
agree with that.
Bro, everybody was like being like, hey man, why do you want this man to lose his job? I'm like, yo, we fun quarterback for this bum. Then y'all not upset that he's losing all these games. But I'm like, okay, it is what it is.
He is a bum.
So,
Exactly.
Amaya, I heard that you wanted to talk about TikTok. Would you, like to talk?
Okay, so as you guys know, TikTok is a platform for creators to showcase their talent in 15 to 60-second videos. These videos differ from lip sync, dance, comedy, and talent videos. Many people have been given huge platforms, like just blowing up off just one video, And as you guys know, there is a 16-year-old girl from Connecticut. Her name is Charlie D'Amelio, and she blew up just off of one video, and she has over like 90 million followers on TikTok and over the course of like 11 months. So what do you guys like think about that? Like, what do you guys think about TikTok and everything?
You can go. You can go.
Okay, so what I was going to say is that, I think that it's overall a great platform, to share. Like, if you're creative, if you can, sing, dance, and all of that, if you think you're funny, you could post some skits or whatever. I think it's overall a great platform where you can show off, all your talents, just like Charlie did. She danced and, got her following. And I know a couple of people who, they just do skits, they sing, etc.
I kind of feel like, I mean, it's a cool app, right? It could just be me because I'm like a rather reserved person. Because, I mean, it's definitely nothing wrong with you showing off your stuff, and I applaud that. But there's some, I mean, I feel like I'm more of a person that likes to watch that stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. But if you ask me to hop on, I'm like, I think I got something to do now. So I wouldn't like really, do it. But I mean, it's your preference. I wouldn't bash you for it. It's just not my thing.
So, like, have the rest of you tried to do that? Like, it's like a good platform. Like, I feel like it's good because it gives a chance for everyone to blow up. It's complicated to blow up, but like, you can do it. Like, it's possible. Like, there are tons of people that have blown up off of just, hashtags they use or the time they post. So, what have you guys tried to blow up, or have you guys made any TikToks?
Well,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought I'd be TikTok famous by now. But I definitely tried it. Nah, I'm not really. I mean, I could do the dances, but I don't really like to do the dances as much. I just feel like if y'all the same moves way too fast for me, I'm like, I don't want to do that. But I definitely do try like the skits and stuff with the acting skills, and like I'm on so many different like areas of TikTok you won't even believe.
What are some of the areas? Like, are you on straight TikTok or, all TikTok? Like,
I'm on like theater TikTok. Point there was this one like place where it was like Coraline TikTok, where all they did was like do different scenes from the movie Coraline. It was so different.
yeah, I just think TikTok is so cool. Like how it gives like a chance, like I said, for everyone to blow up, and for Charlie D'Amelio, like she turned her talent into dancing and stuff. She turned that into big things. Like she evolved into different things. Like she has a deal with Dunkin' Donuts and Hollister. I think that's so cool. And yeah,
I definitely would say, like, I tried TikTok about, I didn't really publish them, okay, y'all, because I'm embarrassed. I would literally make a video and be like, I'm gonna just keep this in a private. So, and I'm like, this is not for me. So I think it's personally, if you're a person that loves internet and you love, like, you're like a Maya, you like dancing and all of that, you should definitely go ahead and be on TikTok and blow up. But if you like me and Khalil, stay in the show. We'll watch it.
So actually, a while back, I heard that the governor like almost got kidnapped or whatever. Did you guys hear about that?
Those are low key kind of weirdos. Like I don't know why what goes through your head saying, "Hey, we're gonna kidnap the governor today." That's so stupid. I don't understand that. I don't know why they thought it would work either. Like
Honestly, this may be just my mind. I might be a little far-fetched with this idea. I think it's just the fact that she's a woman. Like, they would not have tried to do this to no dude, no man. They've never ever tried that before. And I just think it's because she's this woman. She's been like, she's straight out the gate. She was like, I'm shutting all this corona mess down. I'm finna have these stay-at-home orders. Y'all staying at home, right? Because we need to get rid of COVID. And they was like, no, we don't like that. So
Right.
like, we're just gonna kidnap you.
Because she's a woman.
I feel like they're Trump supporters, like, because
Definitely.
it's ignorant. Like, why are you mad at the government?
Yeah.
Because she's trying to protect you, trying to protect your loved ones. Like, it's just like
Exactly.
feels like
You
it's
want
not
right.
even for because I don't know.
If you want Corona, go to Florida. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
So actually,
Yeah.
what are your guys' standpoints on the upcoming election?
I think
Biden 2020.
yeah, for sure. I think we just need to make sure that everybody votes. That's one of the most important things right now. Because I'm sure like now for sure, there's so many more people that are like, okay, hey, we should do something about the mess that's going on right now. And I just think that, people just need to remember that their vote does count, and especially our vote as African American people. We need to make sure that we get out there and vote, because like nothing's usually handed to us like that. So, making sure that we put ourselves in an opportunity for people to see us. So
Yeah, totally get that. Like, I know that Trump has done some awful things and that Biden has also done some awful things, but I'm sure that we can all agree that one is obviously better than the other. So
Yes.
And I just want to ask a question. So, Brianna, when it comes down and breaking it down to your standpoint, you brought it up previously. Now, we obviously heard, like Maya said, I believe it's Trump supporters as well. So, do you believe, what is your standpoint on this election? Because you did bring up a very good key point.
And you're old enough to vote. Like, you're older than all of us. So,
all of us.
like, have you voted or?
So I am going to go vote on the day. So I mean, well, I'm not gonna actually go, but I did the absentee ballot and everything. But yeah. So honestly, let me say this one thing. I really feel like Bernie Sanders should have definitely been the president. I always believe that. I just found it so annoying every single year they would count my man's out because he looked old. I was like, they all look old. What's the difference?
Right.
They're all very much old. So, y'all worried about who's going to die. They do have a vice president. Relax. But, yeah, so that just had to get my little spiel about that out the way. But I definitely do think this is, really crazy. It's you kind of got to choose between, bad or worse. And it's just okay, we're going to go with bad for now.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Biden's going to win, though. Because, I don't know. Whenever you hear, okay, say someone at your school, says, oh, my parents are voting for Trump. You're going to be ugh, that's embarrassing. I feel like Biden is the popular choice. I don't know. I just feel like he's going to win.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Trump is messed up so many things. It's just I don't see how you could still be supporting this person. And there's people that are he gave us stimulus checks, so I'm gonna vote for him. And it's you
money that
you wouldn't need the stimulus check if he was doing his job and not lying about COVID. We'd be at work still doing regular stuff.
You guys watched the debate the other day, but it was kind of funny. I think Trump said that he has done more for the African American community since Abraham Lincoln. And Biden, he made a joke. I don't know if you guys caught it. He was like, Abraham Lincoln over here. It was pretty funny. But that debate was also funny because Biden, he was talking a lot of stuff. At one point he had said, you're running against Joe Biden. I don't know. It just kind of caught my I'm like, wow, put some respect on his name. Like, I don't know.
Like,
I was really like waiting for Joe to start snapping at him because Trump was being so rude, interrupting him and everything, talking mess. I was like, no, Biden, you got to get up in his face. Get up in his face.
yeah, I think for sure. I think Joe needed like that type of debate because he needed to show people like, hey, I'm not just gonna get pushed around by somebody like this, and to like kind of assert his dominance or whatever. So like just showing like, hey, I can do this. I got this. Ain't nobody's gonna punk me like this. So kind of like what he did. And I think, that the way that he handled himself in both debates was really good. So
it really was. It was. And I want to say, just not to cut you guys off, but the problem here is I feel like a lot of people are forgetting the point of presidency. The point of presidency is not to win and do this and do that and have this power. There isn't no power. The point of presidency is to help and grow as a nation, not because you want to take over and use your power for certain reasons, to help each other. And that's the point. Help each other understand and unite. That's all we looking for is to unite, and that's really what I wanted to put out there. Let's not forget the main point of what this is really about.
Mm-hmm. So on the topic of politics, I think I was scrolling on like Twitter or whatever, and I saw that the trending page that like 5 people close to Mike Pence ended up testing positive for COVID-19. And I was a little shocked at first. I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
I heard something kind of relating to that. So up until Trump got the virus, nobody was wearing a mask in the White House. So that's interesting. That could be,
Yeah, his whole camp sound like it's finna get wiped out. Like,
that's some craziness. I don't understand why you can't wear a mask. If it's the difference between living and dying,
he's trying to be fearless for his supporters. It's not working, but
he was just at his campaign without a mask on.
It's not working is because the other people aren't wearing their masks. You're supposed to wear a mask to keep other people safe.
Yeah.
That's what it's for. It's not to keep you safe. So not working for you is because somebody else decided, hey, I'm not gonna wear my mask. That's what happened there. So
it's kind of funny because like how he was saying like you don't have to wear masks, everybody, and then he went and contracted the virus. Like I was just sitting at home like we tried to say
standing there looking like he was about to pass out any moment.
Right.
Like you are not well. Go home.
That's the problem. He's not gonna have a home, so he's like.
I mean, he's probably gonna have a home. He's not broke, but
he's not. That's the problem.
He might go to
jail.
Can't
go back to the White House. I was more upset about learning how much he paid in taxes. I was like, oh, it's people out here with regular jobs paying higher taxes than you. I don't like that.
Yeah, like what do you guys? Okay, let's just say Trump loses. Let's hope he does. Like I think he will. So let's just speak it into existence right now. But what do you think is gonna happen? Like, do you think he's gonna throw a tantrum? Like what do you think is gonna happen? Because like
I heard he might go to jail because didn't he like not pay something?
He did. He didn't do a lot of stuff.
I was about to say he hasn't done a lot of stuff, but I think he'd go to jail for like a whole lot of reasons. Like he's really not a good person at all. Like if you think about it, guys, he's really not a good person. So he's done a lot of bad stuff. Like not only in the presidency either. So I think
it's the way that Trump supporters try to cancel it out too. Yeah, they be like he's got sexual allegations against him, and they're just like, I mean, who doesn't?
What? It's not politics. It's like a human rights issue. Like you have to see like certain things. Like I don't know. Like I guess they don't know the difference between politics and human rights. That's what it feels like. Trump supporters, and they worship Trump like he's God or something. Like they follow him. Like I don't know. It's weird.
Really, I think it's really because he has money. That's the problem. I don't think he's gonna go to jail if he loses the election. Why? Because Donald Trump is not just a man that ran for presidency and won because he got horrible background. he's a man that has money, and he was doing stuff illegal before he, got presidency. So he has dirt on a lot of people in the industry, and they don't want him to go to jail. So at the end of the day, he's not gonna go to jail because he has so much dirt on the people that we empower, and they don't want their dirt coming out. So I don't believe he's gonna go to jail, but I do hope he loses to the fullest.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. So
I've been talking about it all week. What do you guys feel about us? All right, our curriculum in school, in all schools, especially in urban community.
That's a great
curriculum in school about ELA, like exactly ELA and self-mastery. Do you think that we should have self-knowledge as a human knowledge as how can I get better at controlling my anger? How can I get better at controlling this? How can I get better at myself? Mastering myself. Do you think that should be implemented in schools?
Okay, so I think we should have developmental, actual classes as part of the curriculum. And then I think another thing that I was gonna say, because I've been thinking about this for years. I think at a certain point, once we figure out a certain area that we want to work in, once we finish schooling, I think that they should let us do more creative things in schools. So let's say we want to go into performing arts, letting us take literature classes, public speaking classes, all middle school, high school, and college, so that it's not just in college. And then also so that we're not to say that taking math isn't good, but at a certain point, we know enough math to get through life. So we wouldn't necessarily need to know calculus if we're gonna be an artist per se. Not to say that they don't use it, but to say it might not be as beneficial as being able to take another advanced art class or something.
Yeah, okay. I get what you're saying. I know I was in a seminar about exactly this topic where it would be a form of learning where we get to have input on actual classes that we take, and it wouldn't be like a traditional class where they just give you classes and here you go, that's it, and it's we don't really need this. So we definitely talked about being able to be in that type of environment where it's you can pick what it is that you're interested in, and also having actual real life skill classes, because it's okay, you're teaching us all these things, but you're not teaching us the things that we need to actually know once we move out of high school. Some of us don't go on to college, so what are we going to do if we don't have those actual basic skills? How do we buy houses and property and land and do taxes and things like that? How do we do that? And of course, they give you economics classes and things like that, but that only touches on a small part of things that you do in life. So we want to be able to have those life skills classes, those mental health classes for people who's going through things. There are a lot of kids that are going through things mentally, and they feel school is their only outlet. So we need those places where you can talk about that, have writing classes, anything that there is, to make sure that the needs of those students are accommodated. And like Khalil said, at some point, what do we need calculus for? Why are we sitting here doing the same math, this a squared plus b squared? I'm not going to use that in regular life, and you know it.
And I think that's the point. That's the point of it. Go ahead, Maya. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just going to say, that's what I was thinking about, because I'm not, Maya knows this, I don't want to be in education, but lately I've been thinking about it. I want to go into politics and be the Supreme Court judge, but it's I've been thinking about us, our futures, our future us, the people that's going to be in our spots. And why do they have to learn about this calculus when they can be learning about how to master themselves? Because everybody's well, when you're an adult, you can't do this. Well, when they turn 18, they don't even have the resources of a mindset of how can I be an adult? They don't even know what voting is. Most of our generation's not out here voting that turn 18 because they didn't have somebody pressuring them from 8th grade to do it, or somebody telling them that you have to wake up at one point in life. You can't always be a kid. And you're not going to always be a kid. And I think that they really want us to do things like that because they don't want us to succeed. And as a Black community, we can spiral and do that ourselves. We don't need them to help each other with our self-mastery, self-love, just self-period. You know, we don't need them to do that. It just takes 5 of us to go around and help our younger generation and talk about it. So why can't they do that for our school districts? Like, all I was asking, like, it's just crazy to me. Like, they really don't want us to succeed. Like, it's that crazy.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, okay, it's like some things you need. Like, okay, you need to like learn your percentages. Like, if you're like, you know, at a store or something. But like, I feel like they need to teach us like how to do taxes. Like, I don't know how to do taxes, and I like with voting. Like, I don't really know how to register to vote. Like, I never looked into that. Like, I don't know how to do that. Like, I'm sure I can like Google it, but like, I don't know. I've never been taught that. I feel like they need to teach us like life things instead of just, you know,
stuff that they want to push in the back, knowing dang well half of them not going to go to college. They're going to go to a trade that's only going to take them 3 weeks, but okay.
Yeah,
You know,
I never really understood the fact that like schools thinking like, oh, you're wearing a uniform and walking in straight lines and things like that is teaching you how to be an adult. Like, that's not really teaching you how to be an adult. Being an adult is really learning how to deal with the things that life throws your way. It's basically learning the best way to navigate through life with any challenges that are presented to you. Not learning how to put on a uniform every day and go to these classes and raise your hand and go to the bathroom and all this other stuff. That's not real. That's not realistic. And that's what they don't realize, that they're failing to kids and students that real life does not work like that. You don't need permission for everything. These are your choices. You make these choices, and they don't teach us how to make these choices or make the right choices. They're just like, go out there and do this. Just know that you can't throw tantrums. You can't whine like a baby. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't ask for help. And it's like, yes, you can. You can ask for help. You can be upset about the things that happen. Some people need to start telling us that is okay. There are many adults that I see get upset over things that happen in life, but they try to find the best way to make things work in their favor. And we need people to teach us things like that, not just, oh, let's look up some vocabulary words today. Like, let's teach us how to apply those for life, things that we really need.
And I love the points that you made. So we're gonna wrap it up. I would like to say thank you all so much for watching.
Make sure you guys go out and vote November 3rd and be on the lookout for Biden 2020 because he's gonna win.
Yeah, and make sure you guys, stay tuned for our next show because we're gonna have another one and many more.
Make sure you follow our Instagram.
Yep, follow our Instagram at Tunes in the D.
And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Face to right. Face forward.
Can I see?